Hello and welcome to the Yoga Goddess monthly full moon meditation. I'm Zara Haji of Yoga Goddess, and today we are meditating with the full pink supermoon. And the full moon is actually going to reach its um, apex in a few hours, so we're not quite there yet. But we are ready to meditate, and I'm so excited to be here with you today for the first supermoon of 2021. And as always, I love to know where everyone is joining us from. So please say hello and let me know where you are on the planet coming from. Let's see. All right. Yes, I am live. So today's supermoon. Hi, Danya from Los Angeles. Welcome. Hi, Mandy. Nice to see you from, is it SNY? I'm not sure what that means. I'm in Canada. Hi, Tabitha in Virginia. Teresa in Ohio. Hello, Majawi in the Philippines. So lovely to see you. Hello, Michelle in Chicago. And Michelle in Texas. Hi, Christy in Chicago. Hi, Callie, who I think is in Toronto. And Kim, hi from North Carolina. Danita from Wisconsin. Wow. Debbie from Ireland. Heather is also from CNY. Still a mystery. Lucy in Boston. Stephanie in Covington. Yes, awesome. Marta, hola in Barcelona. And wow, we have people from all over. So I have a request. We would love to see a selfie with you holding up a piece of paper. So I'm just going to do this right now so you can see. If you can take a selfie and beside you hold a piece of paper, oh gosh, there you go, and telling us where you're joining from. It would be so awesome to have a collection of photos. And you could put, I would put actually Toronto, Canada. And it would be so fun to have like kind of a collage of where everyone's from with a selfie. So if you're willing to participate, I'd love to see a photo of you posted in the support circle with your piece of paper saying where in the world you're joining us from. So that's something to do after the live cast, just FYI. We'd love to have that sort of, let's say, how do I say, like a physical representation, something that we can show that we have this global sisterhood. And it's pretty amazing that we have literally women from North America, South America, Europe, Asia, even the continent of Africa, Australia. I think we've had some members in New Zealand. So literally on every continent. So that's awesome. And so we'd love to see an actual like pictorial representation of where everyone's from. Hello, Deanne. Glad you could make it from Ithaca, just around the corner. All right. So today's supermoon, let me just grab my notes, is really interesting because there's so many different ways for us to look at this particular full moon. So first of all, the moon, in case you aren't aware, is in Scorpio, in the sign of Scorpio. Hello, Emily. Welcome, as always. And Arian, welcome from the UK. Beautiful. All right, so for those of you who are not big into astrology, I'm a recent convert into a love affair with astrology. And the full moon in Scorpio is really interesting, especially if you have Scorpio in your natal chart. I have Moon in Scorpio, and so there's in what I'm experiencing is a real depth, a real kind of reckoning, looking into sort of like into the core of what's important. Um, and we're really at a place, I feel, maybe even collectively. I was talking to Tabitha, who's part of the Yoga Goddess team, earlier in our team meeting. There seems to be, and I don't know, maybe it's just because I watched Seaspiracy this weekend, a documentary about basically the pillaging of our oceans and how actually the CO2 that the rainforests and the trees, what the earth can metabolize, is a fraction of what the ocean marine fauna actually metabolizes for the earth. So if we lose our like marine forests, like what we have in terms of the nature in the oceans and the seas, then that will spell like a way worse scenario for climate change than killing the rainforests, cutting the rainforest down. Not that I think we should do that. I think we should preserve our rainforest, but there's also a real importance to preserving, um, keeping the marine life in the oceans and not fishing, especially commercial fishing, which is really devastating, not only to marine life but to the entire ecosystem of the earth. So the reason I bring this up is there's a real, I feel, reckoning that continues to happen in the wake of the coronavirus that never seems to end, and all of the ways that we unfortunately rape and pillage the earth and cause all kinds of strife and damage. Sounds really doom and gloom. Don't worry, we're not going to be here for the entire live cast. Um, and that it's time that we actually look at these deep, dark, ugly skeletons in our closets. We had at the beginning of the pandemic Black Lives Matter, which I'm so glad has continued to be an important issue, not just something that was highlighted for a short period of time. And um, there's all of these ways that we create injustice in the world and the planet. And the Scorpio full moon is about looking at what's been hidden in the depths of our unconscious. And it's like muck that rises up to be looked at, to be sifted through. Just like the enchantress phase of our menstrual cycle, which is our premenstrual phase, where what's kind of like the gunk that's left in our subconscious undealt with rises up to the surface. So everything that's been bugging you that you can ignore, the other phases of your cycle during your premenstrual phase, is hard to deny that there's this stuff that keeps banging at your door, the banging at the door of your consciousness and telling you, this is not working for me and needs to be looked at, needs to be tended to. So I feel like collectively we continue to be in this soup. So astrologically, it's really interesting what's happening, because of the placement of Saturn, which is opposing, two important planet that's in a particular sign, Uranus and Taurus. Anyways, I'm not going to get into the astrology because I'm certainly not an expert, but there's these hard aspects in the sky that are again forcing us to look at what is difficult. It's difficult to say, we're killing our oceans and that the only thing that we can do individually is to stop consuming, fish and seafood. I love fish and seafood, but I'm thinking that I can't do everything, but as one person, I can do something, and maybe stopping eating seafood for 6 months is something I can do. That can contribute to the regeneration somehow, so a tiny, tiny, tiny bit. But if lots of us do it, we can have an impact. And that's what I feel like is really an important thing. There's this collective engagement that's required for big, massive shifts. And so I find it interesting that, this documentary, Seaspiracy, a lot of people have been talking about on Facebook, which is how I got um, reeled in to watching. And there's other documentaries that I know people have been talking about recently, and it's a call towards consciousness, awakening. What's important? What's um, what's core and central to us as our passion and our purpose, which is also really central to Scorpio, right? Passion and um, what drives you and motivates you, and there's sensuality in that. And Miranda Gray talks about the moon rays, which I'll share with you. If you're on our email list, you would have received this information. So we have the April moon rays of green and light blue. And together, these rays help us to manifest our highest dreams with calm and balance. The light blue ray brings us our highest purpose, and the green ray helps us to ground this purpose in the world with joy and harmony. So I'm going to read that again. Together, these rays help us to manifest our highest dreams with calm and balance. The light blue ray brings us our highest purpose, and the green ray helps us to ground this purpose in the world with joy and harmony. Together, the Earth Mother and Moon Mother balance within us. So I thought this was particularly poignant and beautiful um, because it's calling us into our purpose, each of us individually into our purpose. And I know personally, I've been feeling a call towards clarifying, like getting clearer and getting more connected to what I'm doing in the world, and getting clearer on what I am putting out there for consumption and what I'm putting out there in terms of offerings to my community and opportunities to learn with me and to connect with your feminine and your cycles through yoga and meditation, and how in a lot of ways I feel like I got disconnected from that really clear central focus. That recently I've been teaching in a yoga teacher training, which a lot of you are part of, at Yoga Farm, and that's re-engaging me with my purpose, which is to teach teachers about yoga that you can do in sync with your cycle, with the different phases of the moon, with the different phases of your cycle, and to bring balance and harmony and connection to your womb through your four feminine archetypes. So this is central to what I want to put out in the world. So I invite you to consider, what is your passion and your purpose, and can they be connected? Is there a way that your passion and purpose woven together can bring not only you into the world in a more purposeful and powerful way, but to create this kind of change, wave of change in the collective. So just going back to what Miranda said, that this is about manifesting our highest dreams with both calm and balance. So it's this mix of our highest purpose and harmony in the earth. So I thought that, that was just so beautiful the way she put it, that there's a way that our purpose in the world can bring harmony and balance to the earth. And that's why I bring up the documentary Seaspiracy, because again, this man who created this documentary, you could feel his passion about saving the oceans and And he's making this huge, it's a huge risk that he took to create this documentary. There's a lot of a danger, people who, don't want these truths exposed. And I feel like that's the case with a lot of things that have been happening in our collective recently. That it takes courage to take a stand for difficult truths, and it takes also principled action to do things differently. So 10 years ago, when I first started teaching about menstrual cycles and moon cycles and yoga, people weren't, no one wanted to talk about their periods. And there's been a big shift in the collective, which I'm so grateful for. So I feel like it's about planting seeds, and the seeds that were planted in the new moon way back in the time where the Scorpio season in the zodiac, so we're talking about October, November, in the new moon of that period, is so interesting that the seeds you plant at in a particular time of the year, so in Scorpio season, they come to fruition in the full moon 6 months later. So 6 months now later, at the full moon in Scorpio, think back to what were your intentions? What were you seeding back in October, November that maybe you can see some of the fruits of now? And conversely, as the new moon approaches in a couple of weeks, and the seeds that you plant now, and if you're in the northern hemisphere, in the springtime, right? It's such a potent time for fertility. The fertility of the earth. The spring is at its height with Beltane around the corner on May 1st. And the seeds you plant now, the full moon in October, November, which I'm going to guess is going to be the Taurus full moon. Again, I'm a newbie in astrology. Will give you a sense of, again, that abundance and flourishing of what you plant now. So there's this 6-month reciprocal energy, full moon, new moon. The seeds you plant at the new moon blossom at the full moon 6 months later. So just inviting you to sit with all of that. Thanks, Melissa, for sharing your enthusiasm and kind of awe and wonder. I know I find it fascinating how the moon cycles work. There's always more. And for those of you who don't know, I've been working on a book. It's only right now for the teacher training students, but I need to take it out into the world. So I'm kind of sharing it with you to make me responsible this year to bring this book out into the world, which is yoga in sync with the seasons and cycles and moon phases, and of course your menstrual cycle. So let's see if I can't be held accountable to bring this out into the world so all of you can have it too. Oh, welcome. Congratulations, Shyla. Shyla found out in October she was pregnant. How beautiful. Okay, so let's get ready to meditate, and let's take a moment to just consider, another thing that this full moon, I read on the moon, let me find it. Want to make sure I'm saying it right. The moon deck, yes. So the question that this full moon, according to the moon deck, is asking, it's asking a hard question, which I know for some of you, I know because I have the inside track on you, Heidi. What in my life is ready to end? That's a question that this full moon is asking. What in my life is ready to end? So it could be a hard question, because it sometimes we're ready for endings and sometimes we're not. Sometimes we're prepared and sometimes we're not. Part of the placement of Uranus, which is about sudden change right now in the sky, is about sudden change that's unexpected. Obviously, if it's sudden, and that can create a huge shift. So you might you might find that in a week from now, something suddenly occurs that creates a big ripple, a big change. And so maybe as a sort of preparation, you can ask this hard question: what in my life is ready to end? So maybe that will help guide your intention for our meditation today. So I want to just take a moment as I like to light a candle. I have my candle as sort of a gathering of energy, a focal point for all of us. And because there's so many of us on the live cast today, um, what I'm going to invite everyone to do, because we have this global circle literally all over the world, is to call your name into the circle, call your presence forward into the circle, and I will light this match. There we go. And inviting you to take a moment to connect with this flame as our focal point. And as I light this candle, I open our circle and invite you all to take a moment to connect here, and then to close your eyes if that feels comfortable for you and you're in a place that's where it's safe for you to do. And bring your awareness inward. Put this candle away. Focusing at your heart. You can put a hand there, focusing at your low belly, at your womb center. Taking a deep breath in, acknowledging your presence here. With your breath, with the physical body of where you sit in your space. Feel your seat. Feel your bum on your seat, your feet on the floor, your body in space. And if you like, state your name out loud as you energetically presence yourself in our circle. Zara. And let's imagine all of these names being called aloud in our circle as we virtually gather here, connecting energetically, connecting in our hearts, our minds, and our wombs. Literally all around this earth, Mother Earth, Mother to us all. Connected in a sisterhood of womb energy, moon energy. Under this full moon, imagine all of the other circles that are gathering tonight, that gathered yesterday, that will gather tomorrow, and including all of those who will gather with us on the replay. Our global circle of women under this full moon, awakening the divine feminine on this earth. Taking a moment to sit with the question, what in my life is ready to end? And conversely, what in my life is ready to be born? Within endings are always beginnings. Then take a moment to set your intention for today's full moon meditation. If you like, you can share your intention with all of us, or you can hold it internally, whatever feels best to you. Okay, so this meditation is offered as a gift of gentle light from the Moon Mother for the healing, well-being, and peace of all around the world. In the silver white light of the moon, all colored energies are available to us, softened through the feminine. In this beautiful and deeply loving meditation, we breathe different colored rays of moonlight into our womb to bring healing to all levels of our being. Each full moon brings us different colored energy to specific areas of ourselves and of our lives. Okay, so as I mentioned earlier, today's full moon is green and light blue. And if you have a shawl that's green and light blue, or green or light blue that you want to use, feel free to grab it. I'm feeling quite warm, so I'm not using my shawl, but there is some green or some blue somewhere in the shawl over here, sort of. So that's what I'm going to be using in the background there. So if you want to wrap yourself in a shawl, please do. And then get comfortable, either seated or lying down. Close your eyes and take a deep breath. Feel your weight where you're seated or where you're lying on the floor. And drop down deeper into the support beneath you. Let that support take more and more of your weight, so you sink down deeper and deeper into that support. Bring your awareness to your lower belly. Feel, know, see, or sense that your womb tree lies within your lower belly. Its beautiful trunk splits into two main branches, and they are full of deep green leaves, small white flowers, and red jewel-like fruits on the ends. The tree's roots grow deep into the earth. Follow them down. Now become aware of the full moon above you, bathing you in the most beautiful silvery white light. Within this silver white light lie all the colors of the rainbow, softened into a gentler feminine vibration. See or feel that within the moonlight are individual rays of green and light blue light. The green and light blue light flows over you and through you, down your body and into your womb center. Open your womb and let it fill with color and energy and love of the Moon Mother. Repeat in your mind, I open my womb center with love to receive the energies of green and light blue moonlight. I open my womb center with love to receive the energies of green and light blue moonlight. Keep breathing in the rays for the next few minutes. Imagining the full moon above you, within the moonlight, the individual rays of light blue and green light flowing over you and through you, down your body and into your womb center. I open my womb center with love to receive the energies of light blue and green moonlight. Keep breathing and receiving the individual rays of light blue and green moonlight through the moonlight, down your body, into your womb, flowing over you, down your body, and into your womb. Together, these rays help us to manifest our highest dreams with calm and balance. The light blue ray brings us our highest purpose, and the green ray helps us to ground this purpose in the world with joy and harmony. Together, the Earth Mother and Moon Mother balance within us. Take a deep breath in. Exhale and grow your womb tree roots back down deep into the darkness of the earth, connecting you and anchoring you. Take another deep breath and bring your awareness to your heart. Feel gratitude for the healing gift of the Moon Mother. Exhale and take another deep breath. Smile and open your eyes. I realized that light blue and green are the colors of the ocean. So, how beautiful that we talked about preserving marine life and the oceans without making that connection. I didn't make that connection of the moon rays and the ocean. So I love that came the waves of the energy as I was receiving them felt like the ocean, and then I realized, oh, that's the color of the ocean, my favorite color. Um, so I'd love to hear what that was like for you. Feel, please be welcome to write in the comments. Elizabeth says, feeling full of clarity and love, full feminine womb moon. How beautiful. Thank you, Elizabeth. Thea says, thanks, will help. This will help for negativity too. Okay, good. Emily says, beautiful, peaceful colors. Beautiful. Linda shared her intention. My intention is to let go of the fear and strengthen my self-confidence. Beautiful, Linda. All right. So please do share what your experience was like. I always love to hear what the meditation brings forward for you, what your visions are, what your experiences are. Um, um, Tabitha, I look forward to seeing that. Sounds like you. Oh, okay. A picture, I think you're talking about. Tabitha chose the artwork, which actually came to mind. There's, Beltane is coming on May 1st. And so the tradition in the tradition of Beltane is of the maypole of taking ribbons of different colors and winding them around the pole, and you would dance around the maypole. And it's part of the significance of the Beltane rituals is the weaving and coming together of the masculine and the feminine. So that beautiful image that we chose for, or Tabitha chose for the full moon meditation, had blue and green ribbons. So that image also came to mind. It was so perfect for the meditation. All right. Melissa says, I realize I need to give myself the love and grace that I do easily give to others. Beautiful. Sheena says, I made the connection to the ocean, moving from the earth into the blue-green water. Bliss is me. Beautiful. Emily says, I'm ready to let go of struggle, stress, and feeling overworked. I'm ready to live a life I love that is full of joy, peace, and connection to nature. Beautiful. You're welcome, Lourdes. Satnam to you too. Relo Boyle, I think I'm saying that right. It felt really rejuvenating, beyond soul cleansing. I felt myself releasing the things that I was holding onto that no longer seemed to serve me. All the way down to the earth, my roots kept growing deeper into the soil, and the light kept growing and cleansing my womb space. Wow, it was genuinely so beautiful. Thank you for sharing that beautiful experience. Please keep the comments coming. And remember my request, if you would please take a selfie and beside you hold a piece of paper sharing where you're joining us from. I'd love to see a collage of images of where everybody's coming from. And you can post that in our support circle. A selfie with your city and country would be lovely. So please do share a picture of you and where you're joining us from. In the next few days under the light of the full moon would be so amazing to start to see a pictorial image of where everyone is coming from. So thank you. Share your comments, share your photos. Tabitha is reminding me that we have a summit interview, um, and we're part of a larger summit called the Hope, Help, and Heal Summit with my good friend Saskia Roel. She holds the summit every year, sometimes twice a year. So I encourage you to join. Look out for the email invitation we'll be sending. Um, I think we're sending it on Monday next week, so watch out for that. You can also follow me on Instagram where we have beautiful posts and photographs and rituals and images. So if you don't follow me yet on Instagram, it's Yoga Goddess ZH or ZH if you're in Canada, Yoga Goddess ZH. And there's a link to sign up for the summit there. It'll also come to you in email and we'll post it in the support circle as well. Callie said, I felt a beautiful fullness and love in my lower belly and vastness in the heart space and beauty of the light shining throughout, a feeling of gratitude for the connection to the moon and earth. Beautiful. Thank you so much. Thank you, everyone, for joining us. Tabitha just posted a link. So for those of you who are trying to conceive, I hope you'll consider joining us on the Hope and Help Heal Summit. Hope and Help and Heal to Get Pregnant Summit. It's a bit of a mouthful. And I'll be doing an interview there. They're only 20-minute segments, and they're audio, so you can listen to them like a podcast. And their interviews with Saskia are always to the point, quick and dirty, as I like to say. Thank you again, everyone. Thanks for being with me on the full moon. I'm excited to see what what you are now seeding between the full moon and the new moon. Think of I think of the fertility of the earth is actually at its apex at the full moon. So planting seeds of intention under the full moon and kind of thinking of them being nestled and dropping into the earth as the new moon approaches and holds them in her belly, gestating in the darkness, to then 6 months later to be reborn or to blossom up. I think that's a powerful way to start to seed longer term intentions. In the workbook that I've created, which hasn't been released yet, which we're going to rename something like Yoga in Sync with the Feminine Cycles or Yoga in Sync with Your Cycles, we look at monthly intention setting because your period gives you this opportunity, right, of letting go, releasing, and then seeding intentions, and you're going through that cycle of birth, and initiation, birth, and then transition, and sort of death and rebirth with the menstrual cycle. And so we have these smaller cycles every month, and then we have these longer cycles. So thinking of the opposing 6 months, new moon and full moon, taking that time right now, and maybe it is around your purpose. And wouldn't it be beautiful if your purpose was grounded in joy and harmony and balance, as Miranda is encouraging us to connect with these moon rays. So taking that little bit of time today and tomorrow, while the full moon energies are still strong, to get really clear about your intention for the next 6 month cycle, and how that contributes to your purpose and that contribution that you make on this planet. So I want to leave you with that thought. Remember your selfie picture with your city and country. I would love to see your images. And there was something else I wanted to say, which of course is escaping me now. Oops. Well, we're going to be back next month as always. In the May full moon is the strawberry moon, if I'm remembering correctly. So I look forward to seeing you. It's actually also the worldwide womb blessing. So we'll be doing a global meditation next month, connecting worldwide with about 200,000 women who meditate together and receive the worldwide womb blessing. So I hope you'll join us next month. And still, what I was going to say has not come back. So, thank you everyone again for being here. Sending you so much love. Maybe tie some blue and green ribbons in your hair. If I had them, I would do that. If you have daughters, maybe you can tie some blue and green ribbons in their hair. And let's get into the energy of Beltane and the celebration of spring, the height of sensuality, fertility, the weaving of the masculine and the feminine as the earth blossoms in her fullness, as we get to the apex, reach the apex of spring, and then, of course, the season of summer, which is to follow in the northern hemisphere. And this is the time of the fertility, flourishing, and blossoming of the earth. So, as we connect with these energies, may we be the embodiment of that fertility, flourishing, and blossoming of the earth. Sending you lots of love, full moon blessings. Bye for now.